Quintin Clark has been a household name on News 2 for more than 2 decades. I sit down one-on-one with the journalist for a special edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And be sure to download the free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores. And subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you, Quintin. I appreciate you having me on the show.
Anytime. Welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups. I guess it's been, 4 or 5 years since I've interviewed you.
It's been a long time. I don't think we were even on this new set when we were here, so it's the first time on this new set. So it's good to have you, buddy.
Oh, thank you greatly.
Yeah.
I talked earlier about 4 to 5 years.
Right.
Obviously, it's been 4 years since the tragedy of Mother Emanuel.
Sure.
You covered that extensively
Right.
than any other journalist in this town. Where are you emotionally 4 years later?
Well, I'll tell you what, Quintin. I mean, there are a couple of nights in my line of work. I've been here for over 2 decades, where you certainly remember where you were and exactly how it happened. And that night, 4 years ago, I was coming back from dinner with my daughter, and the producer at the time says, "We got some sort of shooting downtown." And I was like, "Oh, you don't think you hear that all the time in my business, unfortunately, about shootings and things like that." So I didn't think much about it, and I'm at my keyboard typing away, getting ready to do the late shows. And she goes, "Yeah, like a lot of people maybe not in a side of church." And I just remember her saying that. Her back was to me, and my back was to her. I remember everything just stopped. I'm like, "Wait, what?" She goes, "Yeah, church downtown. And, Emanuel and me down on Calhoun." I'm like, "Yeah, I know that church." And so I said, "We need to get some more information." I said, "No." I said, "And I don't do this a lot." I said, "No, we don't." I said, "I need to grab a camera." I grabbed a camera. I raced by myself down there. And police presence. It was incredible. I mean, I ended up putting out a camera down, and I knew some, my contacts, and I knew a person. Right when I got there, he was coming out of the church, EMT. I said, "What's going on? What's going on?" He goes, "What I just saw, I'll never be able to forget. It's just the worst thing I can ever imagine seeing inside that church." And that's when I knew, right then and there, I was covering the biggest story of my life and what had happened inside that church. And I remember it was 1,000 degrees out. Oh, it was humid. It was hot. We were out there all night long. There was bomb threats. There was so much uncertainty. There was people scared, and it was such a terrible day. And I'm telling you this to lead up to that, because 4 years later, it's still just so ingrained in my mind that night, and exactly what it did to the community in the Low Country. We were going through some tough times in our country at that point, and there could have been a lot of unrest. There could have been riots. There could have been fighting. There could have been a lot of bad things going on. But what was remarkable to me at that time was how much this community came together at that time. We all walked across the bridge together. We helped each other. Sure. There were some divisive units in there, and people, wanting different things out of this. But I think overall, as a community, how we reacted to that. And I think the biggest thing was when that woman said in court to Dylan Roof, I hate to mention this, I'm sorry I even said his name, because I don't like to say his name, but when she was in court, and he was in court for the first time, she said, "I forgive you." That was such a poignant moment, and I think that really settled and was ingrained in a lot of people's minds about the fact that, we will never forget, and we don't like you one single bit, but maybe we can forgive you and move on. And I think it was just a telling moment of how special this place is in the Low Country, that people could actually forgive a person for doing the worst imaginable thing possible.
You talk about this community. Obviously, you've been here since 1995.
Whew, long time.
Yeah. You obviously are a journalist. How do you have a conversation with someone about the change in Charleston?
It's difficult. You mean just the amount of people being here, just the things that have changed?
Yeah, also.
Well, it's just amazing. There's not much you can do about it. It was such a wonderful place. We were kind of a hidden gem when I first came back here in 1995. I remember I rented a place with 2 of my coworkers in the old village for probably $700 back in 1995, split 3 ways. Right. Try and do that now. No, it's impossible. Right. So it's different. I still love Charleston. It's a great place. The traffic, the infrastructure, something has to be done because you see the memes and the things were closed. No more. We can't take anymore. And it's just telling. In the 6 years that I've lived back here in Mount Pleasant now, I've gone from a 10-minute commute, and now it takes over 20 minutes to get here. So that kind of tells you, just how much it's grown, and it has. It's something we have to deal with. It's just the way it is. We're not a secret anymore. People know how wonderful a place Mount Pleasant, Charleston, West Ashley, and the surrounding areas are, and so it's just something you have to deal with. Do I love it? No. Do I love this town still? Yes.
Obviously, like I just mentioned, you are a journalist. First, you started off as a photographer here.
I did. News photographer. That's why I came down here. I came down here for a very little amount of money. I was up in Columbia, just finished University of South Carolina. I had worked about a year and a half in the business up there, wanted to get into sports, obviously, and just at the time, I was like, I just got to get out of Columbia. I got to, just expand my horizons and check out my career. And I was down here actually covering, it was the second woman who was trying to get into the Citadel.
I remember that.
And she was in court. And she's down at the Four Corners.
Right.
I was in Columbia. We came down and did this. So I was a photographer, a news photographer, came down with a reporter, and we had to get video of what had happened. Or this woman from our affiliate down here, which at the time was News 2, which at the time was an ABC affiliate.
Right.
And I was working with ABC in Columbia. And so I came up here to get video here in Mount Pleasant. And I just happened to mention to the chief photographer at the time, Mark, I said, if you ain't got any openings, let me know. And I was walking away, and he grabbed my jacket and goes, you interested? And I said, yeah. He goes, send me a tape. Yeah. And I sent him a tape, and he offered me very little amount of money. I said, I'll take it. Because, back then you were just, I don't know, I guess I wasn't money motivated back then. I was just motivated to go somewhere and get a job and make a little money and kind of grow in this career.
How have you been able to grow? Because you went from being a news photographer to sports director to now news anchor.
Yeah, well, it's been you talk about climbing the ladder a little bit. Yeah, I was a photographer. I got lucky because we didn't have a weekend sports guy at the time, and the sports director at the time, his wife was having a baby.
I remember that.
So she had to take leave. Yeah. And I said, well, I did a little bit in Columbia. I'll fill in, and if you like what you see, I'll go for the weekend job. And they liked enough what they saw, and so I was hired as the weekend sports guy. I went out to that for 5 years before becoming sports director, which I did for another 7 or 8 years after that, and then moved over to news. It was every step was just the next logical step. Because I was growing in this business and as a journalist. And I'd done the weekend sports, and I'd grown, and I really wanted to be the director. I wanted to lead my own sports department, and I did that. Brought Brad Franco here, hired him as my weekend sports guy before he made the move to morning news. And then it was after sports, I'd kind of done that. I was kind of in a bubble and had to get out of my comfort zone, and really wanted to explore news a little bit more, and just kind of wanted to kind of grow as a journalist. And so when I made the move to news, I was a bit scared. But I'll tell you, the people I work next to, Carolyn and Rob, and you learn quickly, and they're wonderful people to work next to, and so they made the job a lot easier.
You talk about Carolyn and Rob, obviously they're legends in this town.
Oh yeah, everyone knows them. It's like
and you too.
Well, I don't go that far. When I say I work for Channel 2, people kind of give me a look sometimes. I'm like, I go Rob Fowler's station. They're like, oh yeah, Rob. Yeah. Everyone knows Rob. Everyone knows Rob. And for good reason, too. He's trusted. He's the low country's chief meteorologist. He knows what he's doing. People trust him when severe weather comes. And that's a big asset we have here at the station, because not only is he just a wonderful person, a wonderful family man, father, husband, everything, but he's just great at his job and well trusted. Can't say enough about him. Great guy.
Obviously, you see a flux of new journalists coming in, and a lot of them are one-man bands these days.
A lot different.
What is the biggest difference between 95 and, say, 2019?
Well, there's so many differences, Quintin. Technology is one. Back in 1995, you had a 30-pound camera, a 30-pound tripod, you had a SAG with a tape. It was a lot different ballgame now. Now, look, what you're doing, you got a camera this size, and you're doing everything you need to do, and it isn't taxing on you. It's strenuous. You just have to do it yourself. So technology has changed a lot. We're now totally tapeless. You just have a little disc here, you stick it in a computer, and you can edit and do that sort of thing. So I think it's a lot easier to be a one-man band nowadays than it was back in the old days. And when I say old days, I mean 1995. I can't believe I'm saying that, because yes, I'm old now, Quintin. But it's just a lot different. And unfortunately, it's the nature of the business. Money doesn't grow on trees. And sometimes you have to realize that in a smaller market, you're going to have to come to a place like this, work a little bit harder, work a little bit more independently, and if you want to grow and continue to move up in this business.
And you talk about growing. Obviously, you're a father now to Sarah.
I am a father to Sarah for 16 years now. Yeah, it's wonderful. She's been a pride and joy in my life, to tell you the truth, Quintin. She's just turned 16. She's an independent girl, has a job, that sort of thing, and doesn't have as much time for her father as she used to, which is fine. I understand that. She's an independent 16-year-old, and that's wonderful. She has her friends, and that's great. For me, the struggle has been, what do I suddenly do with all this free time I have that I've never had before? It was always going home, cooking dinner, doing this, doing that. Weekends were spent together, find things to do, because my hours are so different. And so I always had that schedule for the past 16 years, and now that's kind of out the window. You know, she's got a job, she's doing that, and all of a sudden I have all this free time, and I got to kind of figure out what to do with it, which I am, which is fine. It's good to have free time, but yeah, it's wonderful watching her grow and becoming the young woman that she is.
Let me talk to you about your future. Obviously, like I told Carolyn, you all write stories every day here.
Mm-hmm.
How would you write your future?
How would I write my future? Like, what do I see if I had a crystal ball? I have no idea. I have no idea. I know I love Charleston. I know I love the station, and I know I love what I do.
Sure.
And that's something my father told me from day one as I was growing up. I don't care what you do, son. Just make sure you love what you do. And so I've been wonderful that I've been able to do that. So when I look to the future, I have no idea if they'll keep me. The powers that be keep me here. Wonderful. I'd be happy to stay here for the rest of my career. So not always my decision. I'm not looking to go anywhere or anything like that.
Right.
I just want to continue to grow at this station, and I want the station to continue to thrive and just keep doing what I'm doing. As long as Carolyn's working next to me, I'm a happy man.
Happy man.
Yeah, exactly. She's a wonderful person to work next to, and I've learned a lot from her when it comes to the news side of things.
Sure.
I can certainly teach her a lot when it comes to sports. but she helps me out when it comes to news. So it's wonderful. It's something where I can't fake that kind of thing. I couldn't fake happiness and then I like someone next to me if I really didn't.
Right.
So it's genuine respect and love and appreciation for the woman that works next to me. And that means so much. And that makes my job so much easier.
Easier. You talked a lot about sports. I got to get your take on the United States Women's Open right now in James Island.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Gosh, the one thing I don't like is this weather.
Oh, yeah.
I think it'd be a lot different if it wasn't 100 degrees
Yes.
out. It's wonderful that we have the opportunity to see golf here grow. I mean, you always think about when a big tournament comes here, it's going to come somewhere like Kiowa.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's really the PGA Championship,
Yeah.
the Warburg Cup, the Ryder Cup. We've had all those things down
Right.
there in the past. But the fact that we have it now at the Country Club of Charleston, I think is showcasing the Low Country. I think it's a great thing that we have that here to see some of the best players in their game playing here. It says a lot about Charleston, really. I'm not saying it puts us on the map because I think we're already well established on the map, but I think it certainly helps. And I love that it's female golfers too. It's not just the male tournaments. We have females playing here, and they got game, so it's wonderful to see.
What's that one person we should watch?
In golf,
Yeah, right
we
now.
got the women's open.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. That's one thing. I'm not well versed. I am really upset that Caitlin Dambaugh isn't playing it.
Yeah.
I followed her since she was a 10-year-old kid from Goose Creek.
Right.
Who played at Northwood since she went to Pinewood Prep
Yeah.
at the University of South Carolina, and now she's on the LPGA Tour. I'm so proud of her. She's a lefty like me.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, I love watching her. And then when she had her second wrist surgery and wasn't going to be able to play in this, I'm not saying I was heartbroken, but gosh, I really was waiting to see her showcase her talents on the main stage here in Charleston, her hometown. So that's what I was really rooting for. I really don't have a dog in this fight, so to speak.
Yeah.
Whoever wins it, I just want to see. I don't want to see a runaway. I want to see it close to the final hole. I just want to see him going down to the final hole. I think it'd be great to see on a Sunday, late afternoon, early night, that these two are battling out on the final hole to win the U.S. Women's Open here in Charleston.
And I met Billy Hull introduced me to her when I was at Hall's Cup Chop House a couple of months ago. So.
Oh, Caitlin?
Yes, sir.
That wonderful girl.
Yes.
Wonderful family.
Right.
Brought up, when mom and dad, Cindy and E.G., and just wonderful people there. And I wish her all the best. I hope that surgery goes well. I know the second one did a lot better than the first. And when she gets healthy, she has that competitive edge, and I'm sure she'll do great.
That is so great to hear.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Brendan Clark.
Well, it's an honorary title.
that's all it is.
Exactly. Quintin, thank you very much. Man. Great talking to you.
Likewise.
Yeah.